Might have to. If, yeah, you might have to for it. Welcome back, everyone, to Western New York Athletics. We do apologize for our broadcast for going down, but we do have it back up, so we do apologize about the inconvenience of that. We did have a touchdown that happened for Iroquois. It was a long pass from Trey Kleitz to Nate McGoldrick. McGoldrick getting his second touchdown reception of the game. Trey Kleitz getting his second passing touchdown in the game and his 35th of the season, inching closer to that record mark held by Cole Snyder in 2018 where he broke it with 37.
That's right, Jake. 3 more for the record. 2 more to tie, 3 more to break the record. Looks like there's a timeout on the field here. It was a really nice play by Kleitz on a rollout pass. Threw it about 35, 40 yards in the air, and it was just one-on-one coverage. One-on-one coverage with McGoldrick and number 8 again, Ozzie Matos. This time, McGoldrick winning the battle there, out-leaped him and got the touchdown.
Yeah, and that was a pass actually where pass was actually a little bit underthrown. McGoldrick had to come back a little bit. And, again, it was another good coverage by Matos. McGoldrick had to come back a little bit, go a little bit underneath Matos to make, like, kind of a breadbasket catch, and he was able to keep it, corral it in for 6.
Yeah, and sometimes the underthrown balls are really tough for the defenders. Either they get a pass interference or they kind of get spun around a little bit, and that's what happened there.
So Houston now as the ball carry for Albion. He'll gain about 3 yards on the first down carry.
So, Jake, a really big drive here for Albion. 4.5 minutes left in the half. They really don't want to give. They don't want to give Iroquois the ball back right away. They gotta sustain a drive here. Get a couple first downs. You got to stay within striking distance in this game. Because the offense for Iroquois, they're starting to click on all cylinders now. The last 2 possessions, 2 touchdowns.
Here's the carry. And that one by Jameek Riley was stuffed at around the line of scrimmage and will maybe lose about either a yard. If not, he's back at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, we talked about the offensive input by Trevor Berry. That was one of the best hits I've seen this season. Number 7 for Albion tried to jump there. Didn't work out very well there, so Barry just hit him really hard there. Brings up another 3rd and long, that area that Albion is trying to avoid at all costs.
So with a 3rd down and 6, ball at Albion's own 34-yard line. We got 3:35 remaining in the first half. Here's the snap, the fake. Jones, a flag is thrown, and he is sacked. Trying to take a look at who it was, and guess who it was? It was number 50 for Iroquois. That was Matt Mercurio with his 14th sack of the season.
Yeah, like you mentioned, Dick, there is a flag on the play. Not sure who it's on. I'm trying to look to see it through the refs. No, I think they picked up the flag. They waved away the flag, it looks like, Jake, so it's going to make up a 4th and long, an obvious punting situation for Albion. So a huge defensive play. Again, Iroquois bringing pressure almost every single play to try to get that extra man advantage on the line. It's worked out pretty well so far. And 3 minutes left. Look for Iroquois to be aggressive and try to punch another one before the half.
So a loss of 9 on that play. 4th down and 15. The snap, and they're going to let this one roll back.
That's a touchdown.
And that's a touchdown. Javon Jones was the punter originally, and Mercurio for Iroquois took it up, picked it up in the end zone for a defensive touch. The touchback, but Mercurio dove on it just to make sure, and that results in 6 points. Iroquois goes up 20-6, and a very odd sequence we just saw.
Yeah, definitely some confusion on the field there for sure. The only time I've ever seen that, Jake, is they try to snap it out of the end zone, which would be a safety, but really no reason to do that. At this point in the game, little surprised that the Albion player to at least try to fall on it, try to go after it. Definitely some confusion, and you can't give up gimme touchdowns like that against this good of a team. So, that's going to be that's going to be a rough one there.
The snap's down, the kick's on the way, and that's good, the extra point. So with 3:15 remaining in the first half, Iroquois is able to extend their lead off an odd sequence as the ball goes by the punter, and number 50 for Iroquois, Matt Mercurio, the junior offensive lineman / linebacker, able to grab his touchdown, his defensive touchdown to make it 21-6. We'll take a break in the action. You're watching Western New York Athletics live. Well, welcome back, everyone, to Western New York Athletics. As Iroquois able to get a squib kick here at around the 21-yard line, trying to cut it back up to the left side, down to the 25, and moving it past the 30 to the 31-yard line. The returner there was number 10, Tyler Gibson, the senior wide receiver, also plays defensive back.
Yeah, so Jake, I think we are, pretty much at a point now where Albion's, they got to gather themselves. It's a crucial drive here because they are really on the verge of letting this game slip away. We know how high-powered offense the Iroquois offense is. They just gave them a gimme touchdown there. So this is a crucial drive here with 3 minutes left in the half.
Here's the snap. Up the A-gut, up the middle, and able to gain about a yard on the play. So Albion sticking to that game plan. Unfortunately, that's what they're going to have to do down the stretch and throughout this game. But they're just going to have to find a way to, maybe get a trick play or something, or if not, just going to have to be defensively stout the rest of this game to make sure Iroquois can't get any more points on the board.
Yeah, and it's such a huge difference, Jake, if your quarterback gets hurt in the beginning of the season or the middle where you have time to adjust and try something new. With 2 games left, they're just trying anything at this point.
Here's the snap and the give. Trying to hop over one defender. Couldn't be able to get it down. That was number 40, Bryce Froman.
Looks like it's going to be an Iroquois timeout. So they want to get the ball back with some time left.
So they gain about a couple more yards as Iroquois calls another timeout with 2:17 remaining in the first half.
So a big 3rd and 9 here, Jake. We saw the Albion coach be aggressive on this first drive, went for it a couple times on 4th down in their own zone. Let's see how aggressive they can be here on 3rd and 9 because, if they don't get it, 3rd and 7, I'm sorry. Let's see how aggressive they're going to be. They don't want to give them the ball back, with too much time left. So tough position here for Albion. These are – when you don't have your quarterback and obviously your leader on the offense, you're limited to the play calls that you have available to you. So they're trying to make the best for it. Iroquois knows that, and they're adjusting their defense to it. And you see, almost every play now, 8-9 guys in the box, daring Albion to try a pass.
And a pass is something they might have to do. And they will. Jones over to Riley, and that one sails over his hand, incomplete. They had the right idea, just Jones could not put less zip on that ball to where Riley's able to come up and make the grab, and that'll be 4th down.
So another punting situation. Obviously, it was a bit of a disaster, the last punt. Let's see if they can do a little bit better here. But again, 2 minutes, 12 seconds left. That is plenty of time for this offense for Iroquois. And, Jake, I'll tell you, if they get the ball back and score another touchdown, that's almost, I don't want to say putting it away, but, when you don't have an offense that can throw, very often, that's a really, really tough hill to climb.
So here's the snap. Jones booting this one well past the midfield marker down to the 40. It rolls back, and we'll go to the 40-41 yard line. Iroquois with less than 2 minutes to go. This is essentially going to be their 2-minute offense for the first half, and we'll see how aggressive Kleitz wants to be. And I have to imagine they're going to try, get another one for the half.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is a high-powered offense that gets a lot of first downs. They do have one timeout left, but remember in high school football, when you get a first down, the clock does stop for the chains to move also. So they have that going also. I expect them to be very aggressive and push it down the field. Look for the one-on-one coverage that he likes to find also.
So with 5 wide, Barry motions from right to left. As Kleitz is all by himself, he'll take the snap with 3 steps, looking, scrambling, and tackled down, along with the couple of defenders of LeBaron and Malik Riley. Kleitz able to gain about maybe 2 yards on that scramble.
Yeah, really nice job by Riley closing the gap. I think Kleitz saw some daylight and a really nice job by number 7 on the defense. Jameek Riley closing the gap there. Brings up about a 2nd and 8 here.
Less than 90 seconds to go. They go 4 wide with trips to the right. And McGoldrick all by himself one-on-one against Matos. Kleitz not looking his way. A flag has been thrown. He's scrambling now. Hey, he finds a Barry. Able to get it to the left side, and he's wrapped up by the ankles. A beautiful tackle by Jameek Riley, but we'll see what the penalty is.
Yeah, flag in the area of a hold, obviously, but look at the athleticism of Kleitz there. Just making a play there, trying to find a guy. Great job there. I don't think it's going to hold up, but we'll see what the call is.
And with the holding on the offense, what a beautiful play out of a bad situation. And unfortunately, that holding penalty will push them back. The clock stops at 1:09. Remember, with those holding penalties, that's at the spot of the foul.
Yeah.
So they do about a spot in the foul and then add the 10 extra yards. So this ball's placed at the 33, a 2nd and 18.
And now the clock also started, Jake, so they got to get going a little bit here. You got to get some of those yards back real quick. Clock is now your enemy with 55 seconds left.
The snap, the toss, the Barry. He's trying to zip this pass, and it's caught. What a play by Trevor Barry. Able to zip it, a sidearm throw to Pete Gaglio. An impressive throw. It gets him past by the original line of scrimmage and a couple yards more.
The clock's still running, Jake. 29 seconds yet. They chose not to use their timeout. He didn't get out of bounds. Iroquois got to hustle a little bit here. 23 seconds left.
You're right, 22, 21. Now they're at 20 seconds and counting with 4 wide receivers. Here's the snap.
They moved.
And a penalty on the play. This is the yellow marker gets thrown onto the play, and it's going to be a false start on Iroquois. The clock stops at 12 seconds.
Yeah, like counter curl, the tackle there didn't move. It almost looks like Iroquois is content to go into the halftime at 21-6. Not using their timeout. Really taking their time out there. So, either they're going to take one shot, towards the middle of the field, get up and spike it, then try one at the end zone. That's probably all they can do now. So look for them to try to throw a pass maybe around to the Albion 40, maybe 35-yard line, get up to the clock, spike it, and maybe with a second left. I mean, it's tough, but it can be done. But they wasted a good 30, 40 seconds the last 2 plays. Very kind of nonchalantly getting to the line. His cadence was a little bit longer than probably should have been, but so not as aggressive as I thought they were going to be. What I'm getting at.
Yeah, not only that holding penalty they had, killed their offensive drive with any chance to move the ball. And now you're in a situation where you got no timeouts left. You got 12 seconds left to go. You're up 21-6. They did get the ball to start off the first half. So my curiosity is, did they try like you said, try to go for a deep pass downfield, try to quickly spike it, then go for one more play? Or
I just thought, with, how quick they can score, they kind of had a chance to put the game away almost, and instead, chose to be a little more conservative. But let's see what happens here with 12 seconds.
My other option was a possible hook and ladder play. Did they try and do that? Well, they were able to start off there as Albion's defensive side jumped. But I didn't see if the offense did, so the refs are going to go ahead and discuss this. And it's on Iroquois again. Move them back another 5 yards.
I think they might, look from the maybe take a chance here with number 17, Andrew Trabuco. He's got one-on-one coverage right in front of us with number 8 again. So the safety is shedding towards the middle of the field, so it is one-on-one. Look for a possible throw there.
Here's the snap. And they're going for a flea flicker downfield. It was to McGoldrick. And he was facing double coverage. That sailed over, incomplete. With 5 seconds now remaining in the first half. This will bring up a 4th down.
So good job by the Albion defense there, Jake. Basically kept them in the game. It's a 2-score game right now. If Iroquois would have came down and scored right before the end of the half, it would have been demoralizing to go down 3 scores, into the half. So they're still in this game. And like I said, you just want to try to stay close and get into the 4th quarter, and try and take advantage of it. And so far they're doing that.
Here's the boot.
They're roughing
Line
the
drive as a penalty marker is down. And Tim, you called it as Iroquois picks it up at Albion's 37-yard line. That's going to be a flag, but the clock does expire. So the roughing the kicker call, that would have been great for Iroquois if they had about a couple more seconds, if not a minute left.
That's a defensive penalty and an automatic first down. Does that mean they have one play, an untimed down?
They definitely could.
I think they do, because I think roughing the kicker is an automatic first down. You can't end the half or the game on a defensive penalty. So I don't know if they're going to be aggressive or kneel on it or try something, but I think Iroquois does at least have to run one play here.
No, you're definitely right, Tim, and they're going to go out there for one more play. With that defensive penalty by Albion, that now gives Iroquois free play to do whatever they want. They could take a knee if they want to and maybe just go into the half, or maybe they try a little bit of trickery to set up McGoldrick one-on-one maybe.
They're going to get the ball at about almost midfield, and Kleitz does have the arm to get it to the, can throw it about 50 yards. So why not? Why not throw it to the end zone, see what happens? You really have nothing to lose, even if it's intercepted. It's not really going to matter that far away. So that could be a huge roughing the passer there if they take advantage of it here.
Kleitz all by himself. Here's the snap.
They jumped.
And
another false start on Iroquois.
Set a false start on Iroquois. Didn't see the initial flag being thrown, but you're all right. They move them back 5 yards. But now my question is, now that it's an offensive penalty, do they still get the free play though?
Yeah. And Jake, that's about the believe the 4th offensive false start by Iroquois. Too good of an offense, too good of a team to have that many mistakes. That's 20 yards that they gave back to Albion.
There's now Kleitz. Going to be evading the pressure. Trying to shake off one more, and that's going to be a fumble. Picked up by Albion. They try to move it to the left side, getting a burst of speed, but Kleitz is able to bring him down as he slides down. A nice job of the fumble recovery by number 30, Austin Johnson, but only able to take it to Iroquois territory, and that's where we end the half. Iroquois up 21-6 on Albion. Albion gets their only touchdown from Jameek Riley off a rushing touchdown, and then for Iroquois' side of the ball, they get from 2 passing touchdowns from Kleitz, able to find McGoldrick twice in the end zone, and then off a odd punt chance for Albion, the special teams defense of Iroquois able to grab it up and able to grab it in the end zone for a touchdown. 21-6 our score. We'll take a break in the action. We'll come back for the start of the second half. You're watching Western New York Athletics live. And welcome back, everyone, to Western New York Athletics. I'm Jacob Flack. Alongside with me is Tim Chifa, as we're about to get set for the second half of the Section 6 Class B semifinal matchup between Iroquois and Albion. We do apologize as our camera is a little bit disconnected right now, but we will have it back up as soon as possible. But right now we got the kicker for Iroquois, if you guys are just tuning in, Josiah Arcatapani, able to get set for the kickoff. Albion will get the ball to start off the second half. And the boot, Squib kicking it past the 30, now down to the 21-yard line. Trying to get a return opportunity is Gibson. He'll now move from right to left, trying to get an extra blocker. Past the 30 to the 35, now to the 40, now past the midfield marker. And he'll be taken down at around the, believe they're going to initially spot it. I don't know if they spotted the midfield marker or they got it into Iroquois territory, but nonetheless, a beautiful return by number 10, Tyler Gibson.
Yeah, great job by the kick returner, giving them great field position. You know, Jake, we were talking during halftime, you got to give some credit to Albion because, it's 21-6. Iroquois, come out flying, really high scoring, but, they had a crazy touchdown on a punt that went over the punter's head, and it was definitely some confusion. So outside of that, it's a one-score game with Albion playing, basically with, almost handicapped without their, one of their best offensive players, that they had all season. So give some credit for Albion, and like we talked about in the pregame, what they want to do is just stay in the game, stay within striking distance, till the fourth quarter, and then see anything can happen then. So got to give some credit to Albion. Iroquois, obviously, the 9-0 team, but let's see if Albion can get their offense going here with great field position.
We had a bit of a scare for Iroquois as Trevor Berry was down on the field on that kick return, but he was able to walk off on his own. High snap from Albion. Now gives it to Javon Jones, able to cut it right through and able to get the first down and more, taking down at around the 30-yard line, a pickup of 15.
And a great job there again by number 10, Tyler Gibson, who just had the kick return. That was a high snap that almost went over his head. He snatched it and was able to, keep the offensive play going in a nice big game by the running back there. So Albion in business here, down to about the 30-yard line of Iroquois, 1st and 10 with 11:36 here in the third.
And we had another Iroquois player down. He got up and now is hobbling down to the sidelines on his own. That's Nate Blair, the sophomore. And number 72, Braden Donnelly, is going to come in for him. Here's a snap. It's bobbled. Gibson trying to evade the pressure for Mercurio, and he is going to get swallowed up by Mercurio. Well along past the 40-yard line to around the 45, and they just all that yardage they gained on their previous play, they just lost it all back on one sack.
So Jake, that's actually 2 bad snaps in a row, and I just mentioned 2 plays ago Gibson was able to handle it and still made the play. This one he wasn't able to handle, and that's a disaster. That brings up 2nd and 25. That's a huge loss there for Albion. Let's see if they can get some of it back here to try to get the first down in 2 downs.
They go 2 wide receiver set, the snap, the carry. It's Javon Jones to the left side, down towards the sideline, past the 40, down to the 38. So they gain a good amount back. It's about 7, and that will bring up a 3rd and 18.
So the one pass play that they did have some success on was to the big tight end number 84, Iroquois Gaffney, who found an opening in the middle of the field right behind the linebackers. Let's see if they go back to that here on a big 3rd and 18, an obvious passing situation, but they don't have the passing offense, so they got to try to get a little creative here. Let's see what they can do.
With 2 wide receiver sets, Houston and Jones, and they have Gibson technically as the quarterback. The snap, the toss play, it's Jones. He's going to chuck it downfield, and this one is caught. We'll see who's fighting for it It looked like the Albion wide receiver had it, and they're going to be in favor of the Purple Eagles. Number 11, Elwood Hafner, the senior, able to come up big.
Huge play. Play of the game there for Albion. A jump ball situation. The running back actually ended up throwing up there, and then just gave his receiver a chance to get it. And play of the game there for Albion on a 3rd and 18. Brings up a 1st and goal now for Albion. Huge play there. They are in business here, Jake, and trying to stay in this game, down 21-6, but in scoring distance right now.
And there was a roughing the passer call at Iroquois.
Can you do a roughing the passer on the running back?
Yeah, that's what I'm a bit befuddled about, because Javon Jones was in at running back as the tailback.
It could be a late hit, but a roughing the passer, that's a little confused on this call here.
Well, nonetheless, that even if the penalty is negated, nonetheless, because Albion is in a 1st and goal situation, they're at the 4-yard line.
So it would have been a half the distance to the goal situation. So got about 2 more yards on the penalty. Again, a little confused on what the actual call was. But like you said, nonetheless, on the 5-yard line here, 1st and goal for Albion.
So at the 4, Jameek Riley and that Wildcat, they try to cut to the left side, and Mercurio originally there, but Riley able to shake it off, and now he's swallowed up. Initially, there was a couple of guys, but the first one there was Kendall Mariacker to make the second attempt to try to bring Riley down.
Yeah, so that's one of the situations, Jake, where Riley, probably should have taken the 1-yard loss, not gone backwards, making a bigger loss. He had a chance, to maybe just lose one if he kind of went down, try to make a play. Can't blame him for that, obviously. But another big tackle for a loss for the Iroquois defense.
Now, there is a flag down at around the 16-yard line. The ref threw. And it looks like they're going to wave the flag off. So 2nd and goal technically, even though the ball is at the 13-yard line. Here's the snap from Gibson to Javon Jones off the left side. Another penalty marker down as they get past the 10-yard line and taken down close to the 5-yard marker. But that's going to push back Albion with a holding penalty.
Yeah, so Albion, again, shooting themselves in the foot. We're had it 1st and goal at the 4-yard line. Now it's going to be 2nd and goal from about the 20-yard line. Had a really nice chance to get back in this game. It's going to be tough now. Got to make a big play here offensively. Maybe try another jump ball into the end zone. But they're at the 25-yard line or so, Jake, and they have to get to the end zone. So got to try something here. I don't think they'll be able to run it in from there. So maybe try to get a pass to the end zone, another jump ball situation. They do have that big 6'4" tight end we talked about earlier. But got to try something, get creative here because they need 25 yards here to get back in this game.
Technically a 2nd and goal, but the ball is at the 24-yard line. The snap from Gibson. They fake the toss play to Jones and give it to Houston, who's got wide open space at first, but he's tripped up by an Iroquois defender to save the 6 points. And I'm going to take a look to see who that defender was. It looked like it might have been 26, Alex Miller. The sophomore wide receiver plays free safety, and that was probably the biggest defensive play we've seen.
Yeah, absolutely. So a little misdirection there by Albion. Caught the Iroquois defense off guard. Really nice fake there. And a shoestring tackle to save a touchdown there by number 26, the sophomore. A lot of sophomores on this team for Iroquois, getting a lot of playing time. We've mentioned that about 3 times already, including the star running back. So 3rd down and 6 from the 6-yard line. Albion, big play here. Got 2 downs to get the touchdown.
Riley motions from left to right. Houston with the ball carrier, trying to use his blocking, and will get into the end zone, walking in stride.
It's going to come back, Jake.
But the flag was thrown, negates the penalty, and Albion does not like that call.
Yeah, tough call. They're going to get a false start or legal motion. The running back moved just a hair early. And again, shooting themselves in the foot. This time they're getting a touchdown. It's tough, man. It's really tough. You know, you're trying a new offense that you probably just put in 2 weeks ago. You didn't do this all year long, and you know those little things are going to happen. But huge penalty again for Albion, going backwards again, and now third down and goal from about the 11-yard line.
As they break huddle, Javon Jones, along with Jacob Houston and Tyler Gibson, who's technically in at quarterback. 2 wide receiver set. Houston motions from left to right. The toss play now to Jones. He'll try to get the blocking. Try to shimmy against one defender. Tries to dive for the end zone. He hit the pylon, but he's going to be short.
Jake, I wish we could see a replay on that because it looked like he dove for the pylon, which would be a touchdown. But they're gonna mark him 1 yard short. Huge 4th down here for Albion. Great effort there by the running back for Albion. Almost got it in there. Looked like from our standpoint that he almost dove in there. So 4th and 1, huge play here. Play of the game coming up right here, Jake.
Normally when you get that pylon that falls down, usually It's the football touching it. That may have just been maybe part of him or his helmet, and the football didn't cross the goal line. But nonetheless, 4th and goal. Here's Gibson. The snap, the give to Jones. Cuts up the middle. Touchdown, Albion.
What a great job by Albion there, Jake. You know, a lot of adversity on that drive alone. You know, come out of halftime with a great kick return. You know, shoot themselves in the foot a couple of times with a couple penalties, but stayed with it and punched it in. Now, Jake, this is a huge 2-point conversion here. They missed the last one. You know, this is to get it to a 1-score game.
So Albion will try to go for 2 to cut this lead down to just a touchdown at 7 points.
The last 2-point conversion, they did pass it to Riley. It was completed, but a great tackle by the Iroquois defender. So huge play here for Albion and try to make it a 1-score game.
So they stay with the 2 wide receiver set. Gibson next to Houston, and it's a miscommunication. Gibson picks it up, and as soon as he picks it up, Iroquois able to swallow him up well into the backfield. The 2-point conversion is no good. So we got about 7 minutes and 17 seconds left remaining in the third quarter. Iroquois up on Albion 21-12. We thank you guys so far for tuning into this broadcast live on Western New York Athletics. We want to thank our sponsors for tonight's game. That is Chiefs Barber, AdPro Sports, Howard and Hanna, Western New York and Media Care, Logistics Plus, RES Physical Medical Medicare and Rehab, Cairo First Wellness Center, Paul Wolf Agency, and Trent's Trophy. So we got about 7 minutes and 17 seconds left remaining in the third quarter, and if you guys are just tuning in, or if you guys are tuned in so far, haven't really had a chance to mention this yet, but Iroquois is technically the home game in this Class B semifinal game, and you can tell, obviously, we're not at Iroquois High School. We're here at East Aurora High School, where they're playing technically on a neutral site on East Aurora's football field, and so far throughout this game, it's been completely packed here in the semifinal game.
Yeah, so it looked like what we were told would happen in Iroquois field. There's one of the few grass fields left in Western New York. Did get beat up from all the rain this week, so they were unable to play there.
So they tried to go for a recovery attempt as Albion, but it was recovered by Iroquois. Initially looked like that was number 1, Kevin Kramer, the junior, able to dive onto the ball and hold on to it for dear life.
So we haven't seen Kleitz, in a long time, Jake. A lot of time being cold on the sideline. Let's see how he comes out here. They weren't real aggressive right at the end of the first half. Well, let's see if they go back to the attack here.
He's got 2 passing touchdowns on the night. Got his 34th and 35th passing touchdown of the season, just 2 away from tying Cole Snyder's record of 37 that Cole Snyder was able to break back in 2018. So Trevor Berry with a carry, able to gain about 2 yards on the first down run.
Yeah, hard 2 yards there. They had him in the backfield, and a second effort got some positive yardage.
As Trevor Berry goes next to Kleitz, they go 3 wide. Kleitz got 2 wide receivers to his left. He's got 1 to his right. McGoldrick motioning from left to right. The snap, the give again to Barry. Able to run it up the gut. Shaking off one defender. Getting past the midfield marker. And there he goes, folks. Matos trying to catch up to him at the 10, the 5. Tries to dive for it. And a game-saving touchdown by Matos. The ball is stopped at the 1 yard line. A huge pickup.
And we talked about him, all game already. Jake, Trevor Berry, the sophomore running back, huge offensive year for Iroquois. Burst of speed there. You see how fast he is. Breakaway speed there, and a good job by again number 8 Ozzie Matos. At least giving him a chance, and a touchdown saving tackle there. So 1st and goal for Iroquois.
That was a gain of 62 yards on the play. 1st and goal at the 1. They go 3 wide, shotgun formation. Here's the snap. The pass play over to the left side, trying to get into the end zone, and he's in. Touchdown, Iroquois. To number 7, Kendall Mariacker. That will technically count as a touchdown pass. That is Clight's 3rd of the game and 36 of the season.
Yeah, so, shuffle pass does count as a forward pass, so a nice job there by number 7. Mary Archer got it on the end around and just forced his way into the end zone. We talked about the Iroquois offense. They are quick-hitting offense, and one play, one big run, right back to a huge 27-12 league and trying to add to a point here.
Arca DePani for the extra point. The snap's down. The kick's on the way. A flag is on the field, but the extra point was initially good. So we'll see what the penalty's on. So it looks like it was a personal foul against Albion. So we'll see what that penalty will be assessed at all towards the kickoff at all. But nonetheless, the extra point is good.
Yeah, so they're going to take it on the kickoff here.
Yeah, so let's take it on the kickoff. The extra point's good with 5:55 remaining in the 3rd. Iroquois up on Albion, 28-12.
3 plays, Jake. 3 plays. We talk about got to keep them off the field, but they came right back on the field. One big, huge run by Barry. What a special talent as a sophomore. He's going to have a great future for Iroquois on the next couple of years to come. But 28-12. Albion's got to get back. Another nice drive here. Stay in this game, like we talked about. Stay in there until the 4th quarter. Then anything can happen. But again, this high-powered offense, and like you mentioned, Clight's 3rd touchdown of the game, 2 away from the Western New York single-season record.
And that's going to be a special moment if that happens here tonight. He does have, plenty of time to do it.
So they'll be kicking off from the 45 of Albion. That's a big penalty.
Here's the boot, and that one will go sailing out of bounds in the end zone for the touchback. Had a play there by Albion. That was a gain of 3 yards. So 2nd down and 7 as the clock will keep ticking. Javon Jones will grab the carry, and he is swallowed up immediately. And Mercurio right there once more able to get by the offensive line to bring down his opponent. And then he, on the defensive side, along with Trabuco, and both of those guys, along with Ryan Rigglesworth as well, who was a Trench Trophy nominee in Week 8, have just both been absolutely phenomenal tonight.
Yeah, Mercurio all over the place, including a defensive touchdown also. So another defensive loss there for Iroquois. Brings up a huge 3rd and 11 here. You know, an obvious passing situation. They are spread out right here, so let's see what they can do.
3rd down and 11. The snap. Gibson. Looking. Finds a man. Javon Jones. Incomplete. Mariaca there on the coverage. Javon Jones, the intended receiver. 4th down coming up.
Yeah, not a bad thrown ball there. Just, you know, gave his receiver a chance to get it towards the middle of the field. You know, went up and got it. A good play by the defender for Iroquois. Brings up a punting situation for Albion.
The boot, as Jones is able to punt it, and the fair catch is made by Gaglio, but this will stay in Albion territory with 4:24 left to go in the 3rd. And there now steps up Trey Kleitz, who on this drive has an opportunity to tie the record for most passing touchdowns in a single season. He started coming in this game with 33. He's got 3 to put him at 36. And he's 1 away from tying Cole Snyder, who held that record since 2018. With 3 wide receivers, a snap, and they're going to give it off to Barry. Get some blocking from McGoldrick. Able to cut it up the middle. Past the 35, down to the 30. He got a couple yards more at around the 28-yard line. A pickup of about 18 yards and an Iroquois 1st down.
Another great run by the sophomore running back. You know, he's running downhill right now, Jake. You know, he has great vision, seeing the holes, and unfortunately, look like they have a hurt player here for Albion.
Yeah, down for Albion is number 40, Bryce Froman. And he'll be attended to by their trainer as we take a look at again at our sponsors. We want to thank our sponsors for tonight's game, which is Howard and Hanna, Western New York Immediate Care, Chiefs Barber, AdPro Sports, Logistics Plus, Cairo First Wellness Center, Paul Wolf Agency, Trench Trophy, and RES Physical Medicare and Rehab.
So it looks like they're attending to his right leg. Let's hope he's okay. Albion already dealing with a bunch of injuries. You know, we talked about their star quarterback breaking his fibula about 2 weeks ago. Let's hope he's okay.
So I think we'll do is right now is once while the trainer's attending to the Albion player, what we'll do is we'll actually take a quick break in the action, and then once they get set up and once they're done with everything, we'll get back right into the action. Got 4:16 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Iroquois up on Albion 28-12. We come back out of this injury timeout. Number 40 for Albion, Bryce Froman, was being attended to by the Albion trainers as he was helped off to the field. 1st down and 10, ball at Albion's 28-yard line. Iroquois threatening to score again. The 3 wide receiver set. McGoldrick went on motion from left to right, back to left. And now Barry with the carry up the middle, trying to spin away from a defender and taking a couple of defenders with them as well, down to the 20-yard line, a pickup of 8.
So, Jake, some quick other playoff scores around the area. Jamestown up 30-0 over Will South. Here's a score for you. 54-14 Bennett over Orchard Park at the half. 54 points in the first half, and Lancaster up 27-0 on Clarence.
Going with a 3 wide receiver set. Kleitz having Barry next to him. They go to Barry once more. Spinning off one defender. Trying to shake off Jameek Riley, but Riley able to wrap him up around the legs. Barry able to get past the 20 down to the 18-yard line. That's technically enough for a first down. We'll see if the ref will move the chain gain, and they will. Barry just got enough for an Iroquois first down.
Yeah, great second effort by Barry on a spin move. You know, Jake, I got to tell you, I'm really impressed with number 7 Riley for Albion. Great defensive game so far. He's all over the place, trying to make plays for his team. You know, going against a high-powered offense. But again, Barry, great second effort there.
Here's a snap. Kleitz trying to look to McGoldrick, and the flag has been thrown. Javon Jones was not happy about that, but the refs thought otherwise.
Yeah, close call there. I wish I could see that. You know, we'll replay on that one, Jake, because that was really a close call. I thought Jones was going for the ball, but nonetheless, they did call the penalty, and it'll be a pass interference on Albion, setting up Iroquois for I believe will be a first and goal, I believe.
So the pass interference being called against Albion, pushing Iroquois. See what they initially spot this ball. They have it right at around, I want to say the 10-yard line, or excuse me, actually the 9-yard line. So this will be a first and goal. Same with 3 wide receivers. McGoldrick in motion. The snap. They give to Barry, trying to chug along the right side, and Riley's right there again to wrap him up around the legs, losing about a couple yards.
Another great job by Riley, staying parallel to the line, going right after Barry's legs. You can't tackle that kid high. He's too strong, too fast. Got to tackle him by his legs, and that's exactly what Riley did there. So brings up a second down, and I would say pretty much a must-stop situation here, for Albion.
Staying with the 3 wide receiver set, 2 to the left, 1 to the right of Kleitz. Has Barry right next to him. Less than 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Barry now goes wide. Try for the short pass over to Barry. Trying to juke one defender, able to try to shake off another one, and he's down close to around the 6, maybe the 5-yard line, and this will bring up third and goal.
They actually gave him a first down, Jake, so we stand corrected on 2 plays ago. I thought it was first and goal from the 9, but they just gave him a first down there. So, again, I apologize. I was a little confused there. I thought it was first and goal.
Yeah, it was.
Apparently it wasn't.
Yeah,
so.
apparently it wasn't as well. I was confused as well. So now it's going to be a first and goal at the 6-yard line. They go with the 4 wide receiver set. McGoldrick the motion. They give to Barry, trying to cut it back up, trying to dive right in. They signal touchdown, and the ref puts his arms up. Touchdown, Iroquois. Barry with his 2nd touchdown of the day. This one being his first rushing touchdown on the night.
Yeah, he definitely deserved the rushing touchdown. You know, he's been the workhorse the last couple drives for Iroquois. Great job. I like what Iroquois does. They spread out. They spread everybody out, and then they like to run the ball from that stance, and they definitely had some success with that. And Iroquois in business.
The kick's on the way, and the extra point is good. With 1:20 remaining in the third quarter, Iroquois now up on Albion 35-12. And as both the special teams, the kicking and receiving teams from each side, both talk to their head coaches, we went into this game, expecting a lot of dominance from Trey Kleitz and Trevor Barry, which is what we saw throughout, these past, into this third quarter and a little bit in the second quarter. But originally, when that first quarter got started, it was a nice close game with Albion doing a good job, killing a lot of clock. They got a touchdown, but couldn't get the 2-point conversion to make it 7-6. But ever since that 7-6 lead by Iroquois, they've gone on to outscore Albion 28-6 after that.
Yeah, and that's one of the tough things that Albion that we talked about in the pregame. The uphill battle that Albion had. Not having their quarterback. They had to try to keep them off the field, but a few times. Iroquois had tackles for losses, and when you have tackles for losses and you're running a wildcat offense, it's very tough to get positive yards. When you're in 3rd and 10, 3rd and 12, your offense isn't built for that.
Javon Jones, the return man. The boot line drive, Squibb kicking it, rolling around the 15, down to the 11, and that's where Jones will start off with it, getting some blocking as a penalty is on the field, and looked like Mercurio was there initially on the tackle, and a couple more Iroquois defenders able to bring him down. But we'll see with the penalty, see who it's on.
You got a block in the back on Albion, and that'll push him back a little more. So, Jake, we talked about, this game, the winner goes to play at the stadium, which is, every football kid's dream. The winner of this game will play the winner of Frontier and Hamburg. And right now we have 28-14 Frontier up in that game. So, potential matchup with, Iroquois and Frontier, if everything stays the same, should be a great game. I mean, that's what I think. And Bennett Lancaster going to go at it, looks like, at the stadium again. So, setting up for some great games next week.
Yeah, absolutely. And now we got Albion's offense coming back onto the field. We got a tremendous amount of slate matchups that are going to be happening next week when we get our sectional finals underway. We'll be there for all the coverage as Western New York Athletics. We'll try to cover all those games for this championship football. Here's Jones. Now on the pass. Down to Riley. This one incomplete.
Yeah, good job by the defender, number 18. Number 18, Pete Gaglio. Good job by the cornerback, knocking the ball away. And Albion's taking some chances. I don't blame them. We're down 35-12. You got to score, and you got to score quickly. So, try to take some chances down the field and see what happens. But again, a great job there by the defender.
With the clock stopping 1 minute and 5 seconds. 2nd down and 10 at their own 11. After a block in the back penalty from their kick return team, the give is down to Jones. Try to cut to the left side now, back up field, and we'll might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. If not, he gained about a yard. So that'll be 3rd down and 9.
40 seconds left, the clock ticking here in the 3rd quarter, Jake. 3rd and 9, an obvious passing situation. Let's see what Albion can try and draw up here. This was, the recipe for disaster for Albion. When you don't have your quarterback, you have to run the ball every play, basically going down. That's what makes it so tough,
Snap, the fake. It's to Houston, and he may have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. That will bring up 4th down, and this clock will be ticking down with about 5 seconds left, 4 seconds left, and this clock will now run out and hit 0 to signal the end of the 3rd quarter. Iroquois coming on strong here at the start of the 2nd half. They get 2 more touchdowns to go up 35-12 over Albion. We'll take a quick break in the action, and when we come back, we'll have the start of the 4th quarter. say to sponsors?
Welcome back. We just want to say a quick thank you to our sponsors, Howard Hanna, Western New York and Media Care, Chiefs Barbershop, Ad Pro Sports, Logistics Plus, RES Physical Medicine and Rehab, Cairo First Wellness Center, Paul Wolf Agency, and the Trench Trophy.
So we're just about to get started the fourth quarter. The punting unit out for Albion. Snap, the boot. This one is going long past the 45, down past the midfield marker, and into Iroquois territory, rolling to the 42-yard line. And Iroquois will start off with 11:48 remaining in the game.
And Jake, good to see number 40 for Albion, Bryce Froman, back in the game. It looked like he had a right leg injury in the middle of the third quarter, so he's back out there. So good to see the young man is back out there and healthy.
So Trey Kleitz going 5 wide. Trips to his left, got 2 to his right. Barry now motioning from right to left, and we're going to get a timeout called here by Albion. So they will now have 2 left remaining in the game. Didn't like what they saw with that 5 wide receiver set. They want to regroup on their defensive alignments.
So the Iroquois offense, I mean, what a fun offense to be a part of, if you were a player or a coach. I mean, it's like a college, Texas Tech type of offense in high school. Jake, I don't even think I had 5 receivers on my team when I was in high school. They have 5 lining up on this play. But when you have the talent, at quarterback, like Kleitz, and you have running backs like they have, you can afford to do that kind of, creativity and, how much success they have had, not just this year but last year also. Building on the success of last year, 9-0 this year, haven't looked back. And if any team deserves a trip to the stadium, Iroquois is right at the top of the list, and it looks like if things stay the same, they're going to be going there. With one of the best quarterbacks I've seen in Western New York this year for sure. Yeah,
it was around close to the midway point of the season where they were announced the number 1 state-ranked team in Class B, and that's what they've stayed since. And a lot of it's been due to this all-around team, not only with Kleitz on offense, but the great job on the run game, the receiving game, and their defense and pass rushing have been absolutely phenomenal. So Kleitz, he's still waiting for the ref to get the signal to get this game going. So they'll stay with the 5 wide. This time they have trips to Kleitz right, and they got 2 to his left. The first down and 10, Kleitz takes a couple steps back, short pass over to Barry, and they'll say it was a completed pass, but Barry was down on one knee as soon as he caught it. So he got no gain on that play.
So we talk about the season that that Iroquois has had. The first game of the season, Southwestern, they won 22-21. That was the really only adversity they had all season. Every other game, 46-6, 51-14, 69-0. Close game with Pioneer, 19-14. One-score game with West Seneca East. But they have blown out a lot of teams this year.
McGoldrick in motion, second down and 10. The snap, the give to Barry, trying to chug along and able to gain some yardage. About 6 yards on the play. And when I talked to the head coach for Iroquois, Robert Pizanka, I got a chance to ask him if this was the most complete team he's ever had, and he immediately said yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, he mentioned about how this team, in terms of past teams, did not have the size, but about each player had a lot of skills. And he believes that offense is perfectly balanced at where it is. And even though the defense was very good last year, it just seems like now they've just gotten even much better and became more of a strong tackling team.
Yeah, Jake, one of the things, with this high-powered offense, you're going to be on the field for your defense a lot. So you have to have a strong defense to have an offense that's going to be off the field because they score so much.
Here's Kleitz, downfield to McGoldrick, and it's caught. And Jones trying to wrap him up and bring him down, and he does. And in one play, we're able to sling it downfield, down to the 28-yard line. A pickup of about 24 on the play.
Yeah, and not only did that show the arm strength of Kleitz, that also showed the brains of Kleitz, because he checked to that play by scanning the field, scanning the defense at the line of scrimmage, which you don't see too much in high school, Jake. I can't tell you how impressive that is for a high school kid to do that.
With 5 wide receivers, Kleitz throwing it back to Barry. This one's caught. He's able to stay on his feet, able to shake off a couple of defenders. Trying to shake off one more, but he's swallowed up by a couple of Albion players and taken down close to the 10-yard line. A pickup of about 18.
Yeah, another great play by Barry. He is a tough kid to bring down, Jake. I think there was 5 or 4 white jerseys, trying to bring him down. Tough kid to bring down with a solo tackle. So great job by the offensive line again. Let's see if Kleitz can do here with a 1st and 10 from about the 11-yard line.
Ball at the 11-yard line. 4 wide receivers set for Kleitz, has Barry right next to him. The snap, the fake, the Barry, the pass downfield. This one is incomplete. Mariacker there, the intended receiver, could not corral it in as he tried to get the tiptoe touchdown slide, but just could not corral that ball in.
Yeah, that's definitely one that Mariacker, like to have back. Ran an out pattern right at the pylon. Great thrown ball, exactly where it had to be. Just slipped through the hands of the receiver, Mariaca. So definitely one he'd like to have back. And it would have been the tying touchdown there, the tying Western New York single-season record touchdown there.
2nd down and 10. With 4 wide receivers, Kleitz trying to look. Gave it over to Barry, and he wasn't expecting it. He was initially open. He took a quick look to see if Kleitz would give it to him. Quickly turned his head back and then back over. He saw the ball near his vicinity and just couldn't get his hands quick enough to make the catch.
Little miscommunication. He looked back and then turned back upfield. As soon as he turned his head around, Kleitz threw the ball to him. So some miscommunication there. But 3rd and 10 here from about the 11-yard line. Let's see what Kleitz can do here. One of the plays I saw that was open was a look for a quick slant from the receiver here. The middle of the field seems to be a little bit open. Look out for number 18 here on a slant. Kleitz looked it off in the last one, but Gaglio has been open the last 2 plays.
5 wide. Kleitz all by himself. Here's a snap. Looking to his left. Has a man open. And it's incomplete. And Tim, I believe it was the receiver you were expecting. He was open. It was Gaglio. Just couldn't corral it in.
Yeah, I noticed that he was open the last play, so they went right back to it, and he was wide open. And unfortunately, another drop ball. So Kleitz might be a little frustrated with his guys there. That's two drop balls that would have tied the record. That's tough to swallow, but he'll be okay. He'll be okay. But again, another one that the receiver would like to have back, because that was right in his hands. Another great thrown ball.
They go 5 wide again. Trips to the right. Well, now Barry will motion from right to left. They go trips on the left side. 2 on the right. The snap for Kleitz. Feeling pressure right away. Rolling out to his left. Can't find anyone. Now we'll throw it. Chuck it up for broad daylight. And it's intercepted. It is picked off. It's bobbled, but he's able to corral it in. Number 21 for Albion, Dallas Ecker, the junior wide receiver. That time playing defense as a cornerback, is able to throw up that rainbow pass, able to get the interception.
But I'll tell you, Jake, great play by number 5 of Iroquois, Nate McGoldrick. He had all daylight, and Nate came out of nowhere to make that tackle because there was no one that was going to catch him there. He was going to score. So good job by number 5, the wide receiver, becoming a defender there and making the tackle.
You mentioned before how Kleitz might have been a bit frustrated after those 2 drop passes. I don't even want to know how he feels now after that interception.
It was 4th down and almost goal, so he was just trying to throw it up there.
How about that from Trevor Barry? Able to blow right by. He got the timing of the snap perfectly, and Gibson had no time to make a throw.
But again, another bad snap. That's this is the 3rd time that number 10, Gibson, has been at quarterback and had to deal with a tough snap. So again, a little bit of confusion there between the center and quarterback, but he was able to pick up the ball, throw it away for an incomplete pass, so just brings up a 2nd and 10.
So Gibson looks like he'll remain quarterback for the rest of the game for Albion. They'll go 4 wide, and now looks like we got an official timeout. Wonder what they're going to try and look at here. And it looks like they want to try to add maybe more clock.
8:41, yeah. So a little confusion between the game clock on the field and the one on the scoreboard.
So yeah, so it had 8:23 on the score clock originally on at East Aurora's field, and they just moved it up 18 seconds to 8:41. They just want to keep us here longer. Here's the snap. Gibson, deep pass downfield, and this one, it looked like it was intercepted. 26 and Jones trying to fight for the ball.
Caught.
And they're going to say a catch. Javon Jones with the catch, and I'm not too sure about that. It looked like Alex Miller, the sophomore free safety, looked like he came up with it, and the refs are going to discuss it, and Albion has the first down.
Yeah, the second play like that where the receiver for Albion, jump ball situation, ended up getting the ball. Not quite sure on that one, Jake, but they did give it to Albion, and Albion in business here at the 45-yard line of Iroquois.
So in the Iroquois territory, Gibson will try to look deep again. This one is intercepted by Kendall Mariacker. He'll take it to the left side towards Albion's sideline, and he is tackled down at around the 40-yard line, and a flag has been thrown as Mariacker was tackled well out of bounds.
Yeah, so Albion maybe losing their cool a little bit, got to calm down. But Mariacker, who actually dropped a touchdown last play, got it back, got a little revenge back there with an interception. And let's see what Clayson, the offense, is going to do.
Just had a previous play where we weren't sure if it was an interception,
right,
but the refs ruled it a catch for Albion, and the next ensuing play, Gibson throws an interception to Kendall Mariacker, and the penalty was assessed against Albion. So this will move Iroquois to Albion's 46-yard line.
And Iroquois keeping the offense out there still, up 35-12, 8 minutes. It could be the last drive that we see the main starters out there for Iroquois, Jake.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if they're going to have Kleitz maybe try and tie the record here or break it here tonight. Here's the snap. Here's the pass. It's over to Barry. He's behind the line of scrimmage, able to break off one defender, gets past the 40, and able to get some nice yardage. It didn't look like he was going to get it much at first, but that just shows the strength from the sophomore running back.
Yeah, look, that might be a setup play also, because they had McAldrick again one-on-one on the side right in front of us. Look for a deep pass to McAldrick in the next 2 plays here.
So they'll credit Barry with a 6-yard reception. 2nd down and 4. Kleitz going 4 wide. Here's a snap. Looks to his left, now to his right. Has McGoldrick one-on-one. He had to come back for that, and he completes the catch. Bit of a similar style when he had to get his receiving touchdown, but nonetheless, he's able to corral that big time.
Yeah, Kleitz was actually hit there when he released the ball. The defenders for Albion got in the rush, so good job by Kleitz to even get it off, was underthrown, and a good job by McClurdick able to come back and make the reception.
But we did have a flag on the play. It went against Iroquois. That's why the offenses were staying around that 40-yard line. A little bit of a confusion of where, if it was a first down or not. We thought it was at first, but a chop block by Iroquois' offense will push them back to their own 49.
Ball spotted at the 49-yard line.
7:43 and counting left to go in the game. They go 5 wide with a kind of a trips bunch to the left side. They got 2 to the right for Kleitz. Now Barry will motion from left to right. The shovel pass over to Barry, trying to get some blocking. And now another flag has been thrown as he gets down to around the 40, maybe the 38-yard line, but looked like McGoldrick tugged on one of the defenders, and this one's going to be coming back.
Yeah, definitely got the receiver there for a hold, and another penalty on the offense for Iroquois. That's something they get. They got to button those up a little bit, Jake. I know they're running away with this one, 35-12, but you have all these penalties. As you go forward, with your season, and you're playing better teams, that's going to come back to haunt you. So that I guarantee you, that's something that they're going to work on all week. With a trip to Highmark next week.
Now the ball is going to be at Iroquois' 39-yard line. This will be a 2nd down and 25.
Yeah, so a drive that started at the Albion 46-yard line is now all the way back to the 39-yard line of Iroquois.
So they'll stay 5 wide. This time the trips bunch will be to the right. They have 2 to Kleitz's left. The snap. He's got Gaglio, but he wants to go deep. And he is down for the sack.
I hope he's okay. His leg bent there, Jake. Okay, he's okay.
Yeah, I was going to say, Kleitz did awkwardly fall down to the turf.
I can guarantee the entire coaching staff of Iroquois is holding their breath right there, Jake. We talked about they're up 35-12, how much longer you're going to keep in the game because anything can happen. That made us a little nervous up here. I'm sure they were 10 times more nervous down there, but he's a tough kid, and luckily he's okay because that was the defender for Albion did fall on his leg. That could have been disaster, but thank God he's okay and brings up a 3rd and forever here, 3rd and 32. So what do you have for 3rd and 32, Jake? Just throw it as far as you can and see what happens, right?
Well, Kleitz is favoring a little bit of the left leg. Also a little bit frustrated because he's having a hard time moving his offense down the field, but 32 yards to go. Basically a Hail Mary attempt. This time he's just going to rush it. And now he's taken down well beyond the sidelines of Iroquois' own sidelines, and the flags has been thrown.
Yeah, that was so obviously late, and that's I got to give credit for Iroquois for keeping their cool because they hit their superstar right there, and usually you'll see the teams go crazy at that. They kept their cool, but definitely a late hit on Albion. They're frustrated. They got to keep their cool here. You win and you lose. With character and class. They've had a great season, making it to the semifinals of the Bs of the Class B. You don't want to go out like that. You want to have class. You want to have character. And, they had a lot of adversity the last 2 weeks. Beat Olean 8-7. Let's keep their cool here. Try to end this game, the way they should. And an exclamation point on a season that, that was really well all season.
Oh, they're going to keep Kleitz in the game. He's just had 2 previous plays where
I would have taken him out.
Where he might have had a really bad leg injury, but he stayed put in it. Then he just took a huge shot towards his own sidelines, well out of bounds. The snap, they're just going to give it to Barry. Now the motions to the right, now over the midfield marker down to around the 46-yard line.
It's getting a little chippy down there, Jake. The refs are going to have to make sure they keep control of this game. A lot of emotions in a playoff game. A lot of these kids, it's their last game they're going to play. Not many, go on to play college ball. So a lot of these kids, it's their last football game. So it's going to be a lot of emotions. Brings up 4th down. It looks like there'll be a punting situation here. I'd be shocked if we saw Kleitz go back in the game if they get the ball back.
So with the boot, a nice high arcing punt. This gets well past the 20-yard line. Rolls a little bit to around the 15, and that's where they'll spot it for Albion with 5 minutes exactly remaining on the clock. Iroquois still up 35-12. And what a game this has been so far, where we had a close contest towards the first quarter with Albion killing a lot of clock and ending it with a touchdown. But ever since then, it's all been Iroquois, thanks to Trey Kleitz and Trevor Barry, who've been the key in this passing and run attack, who've compiled up a couple of touchdowns throughout the second and third quarter to help this team go up 35-12. And they're 5 minutes away from from getting back to the Class B finals they were this past season.
And this year at the stadium, which, you know, it's, like I said, every high school kid in this area is a dream come true.
Gibson feeling the pressure, has a pass, and this one is caught by Jameek Riley. And a beautiful job by Riley staying with it. There was a defender, Alex Miller, who was all over Riley at first before the ball reached Riley's hands, but nonetheless, it's a catch and a first down for Albion.
Again, really nice job by Riley. Like I said earlier, I'm impressed with this kid, you know, offensively and defensively. Went up and grabbed it, you know, had a defender draped all over him, didn't matter, went up and got it. So good play there by Riley with 4 minutes, 30 seconds left. Albion was another first down here.
With the 5 wide receiver set, Gibson. Snap was a bit high. Able to find a pass downfield, and this one is incomplete. Riley with an almost impressive one-handed grab around the midfield marker, but just couldn't get it in. The pass was high. 2nd and 10.
Yeah, so taking a shot down the field. I don't blame him. Gibson, you know, just throwing up, trying to give his receivers a chance to make a play. You know, I'd be surprised if Iroquois doesn't go, you know, almost to a prevent defense here. You know, moving the guys back here just to try to keep everybody in front of you. 4 minutes, 17 seconds left, 35-12. Iroquois looking strong.
Albion staying with the 5 wide receiver set. Even though they haven't found too much success in the passing game, they trust Gibson in his arm. They roll out, feeling pressure. Now he's going to scramble, trying to get off one defender, able to juke off another, past the 40, down to around the 40, looks like 44-yard line, but nonetheless, it's an Albion first down.
Another great play by Gibson. You know, you got to give it up to these kids. You know, game probably in hand, Jake. It's 35-12, 4 minutes, but they're playing to the end. They are playing hard. They're going to play to the end of the game. They're not going to quit. Got to give it up for Albion, the coaching staff. We knew it was going to be an uphill battle, especially being shorthanded. And with 350, you know, they're playing right to the end. They're playing hard. Got to give them credit here.
So they actually spot the ball at the 45-yard line. Still first down and 10. The 4 wide receiver set, and as a looks like that ball was going to be incomplete, as Tim Chifa was actually showing me the actually one of the broadcasts of the game. Tim, you can take it away on that score.
You know, I was just trying to look at the the scores from other games. 70-14, Bennett. 70 points they have in the third quarter. I can't imagine how many rushing yards they have because they don't throw the ball much. 70-14 over Orchard Park. Crazy game at all high going on right now.
Bennett punching their ticket to the finals and doing it in dominant fashion and making a statement tonight at all high.
What a season they have. Only 1 loss on the season. You know, really rely on the trenches and the offensive line. But a great season. They are putting an exclamation point on it, putting up a 70 on Orchard Park. Wow. And that's the team that beat them, too, earlier in the season.
They go 5 wide. Houston in motion. Snap. The deep pass downfield. Jones has a man beat. It is caught in stride. Javon Jones will coast to the end zone for the touchdown. No flag's been thrown. A beautiful strike from Gibson to Jones for 6.
What a great play. Great job by Gibson, hanging tough in the pocket, threw it all the way downfield, hitting Jones in stride. Great job by the quarterback and receiver combination there. Well done by Albion, making it 35-18. Like I said, Jake, no quitting this team at all. Got to give it up to them. They're going out, playing as hard as they possibly can for their last game of the season.
A 54-yard touchdown strike from Gibson to Jones. And they'll go for the 2-point conversion. The snap, the give to Riley. He dives in, and the 2-point conversion is good. With 3:17 remaining in the game, Iroquois still up on Albion 35-20. We'll take a quick break in the action. You're watching Western New York Athletics live.
We would like to give a quick shout out to our sponsors, Howard Hanna, Western New York Media Care, Chiefs Barber, Ad Pro Sports, Logistics Plus, RES Medicine, Physical Rehab, Cairo First Wellness Center, Paul Wolf Agency, and Trench Trophy. Thank you to all our sponsors.
We're now back here live on Western New York Athletics with the onside kick attempt, but Iroquois able to corral it. And that was Kendall Mariacker there to hold on to the ball. So with 3:16 left here to go, you're up 15.
He's going back out there, Jake.
And Kleitz is going back out there, maybe just to,
Hand it
you know,
off,
hand it off, or, you know, I know I keep saying it, but he's close to tying that record. He could do it right here tonight.
Yeah, but tying it and beating it at high mark would be pretty exciting too for the kid, right? So,
right.
But they're you know, they have all their starters in still, so let's hope for the best here.
So they go 4 wide. A snap, and they're just going to give it off to Barry as he tries to get past the midfield marker, and now he'll be taken down. And they'll actually put him towards the midfield marker. He got enough forward progress to get there. Gains about 3 yards.
You know, and I guess from the Iroquois coach's standpoint, it is technically just a two-score game. So if there was a turnover, if you had your second stringers in, you can score quickly and get an onside kick. I understand it now a little more. You know, that touchdown probably kept the offensive, you know, the starters in for Iroquois.
Right now it's getting cold where you can see the breath just being, you know, you can see the breath up here from the press box. You know, that temperature is just dwindling down more as we get towards the end of this game. 4 wide receiver set, and they're just going to be killing a lot of clock here. The snap and the give once more to Barry. Shakes off a couple, and there he goes. Past the 40 to the 35, down to the 30, 25, 20, and I believe he's down right exactly at the 20. No, they'll give it to the 19-yard line. A pickup of 31 yards, and Barry just made a 5-yard play look like a 32-yard play.
Right, what a special player he is, and also does a nice job at the end, diving back into the field of play to keep the clock running. Does stop for momentarily for the first down marker. But again, a great job by Iroquois, and let's give some credit where credit's due. The offensive line, you know, if you all these running yards, you don't get those without the offensive line. So great job. You know, they don't get their names in the paper, they don't get the box score scores, but they are the reason, you know, for all the success that, you know, that Iroquois is having.
So they got less than 2 minutes to go. They go 4 wide, and the give once more is to Barry. And he is going up the gut and taken down at around, say, probably the 12-yard line. And that's what they're going to mostly be doing, just handing the ball off to Barry to wind this clock down. So as we got about less than 90 seconds to go here, Iroquois coming up strong in the second and third quarter to come up with a big victory here. And we'll have a chance to play either Hamburg or Frontier at Highmark Stadium next week for the Class B title. So as they kill more clock, they go 4 wide. Barry right next to Kleitz, and they hand it off to him once more. Giving it close to right around the 10, maybe the 11-yard line. So we have less than 50 seconds to go.
Yeah, with Albion not using their timeouts, you know, they could pretty much kneel on it here for 2 plays and end the game.
But less than 30 seconds to go, they'll give it once more to Barry, trying to cut to the outside, staying up on his feet, and he will roll around to around the 12-yard line. So that will bring up third down.
Not sure why the clock stopped, Jake.
Someone call a timeout?
A flag.
Oh, excuse me, a flag has been thrown.
They're
Don't know
gonna
what the
get
penalty is on initially. Oh, now they're going to call it a holding against Iroquois.
A lot of penalties called today, Jake. Iroquois got away with it, went up 35-20. But that's something, like I said earlier, they're going to have to tighten that up, as their season continues. That's a lot of penalties that, the coaching staff, I can guarantee you will be, all over them about this week.
3rd and 12 coming up, going 3 wide. And they give once more to Barry. To the left side. Getting it past the 15, down to the 10. Still staying up on his feet, trying to dive right in. The flag has been thrown, and he's down short of the 1 yard line.
Another flag on the play, Jake, right at the end of the play. Can't see what it is yet.
There's 9 seconds left on the clock.
Still no signal from the refs yet. He's going to make the signal right now.
And it looks like it's going to be a penalty against Albion.
And with 9 seconds left here, Jake, I expect Iroquois to kneel on it.
So they're, even though they're at the 1 yard line, Iroquois still being very aggressive. Barry wants his second rushing touchdown.
Yeah, he's still in shotgun. I would have thought he would just kneel on it here, but
here's the snap, the give to Barry, and they try to signal touchdown as Iroquois, but
I don't quite understand that, Jake. They could have just kneeled on it. The game was over.
I don't know if they called it a touchdown or not.
They didn't give it to him.
Yeah, they didn't give him the touchdown, but nonetheless, Iroquois, the clock strikes 0, and they're going to the Class B title game. They're going to Highmark Stadium next week. They take on Frontier or Hamburg.
Great job by the offense of Iroquois. Really a special team to watch, Jake. This is one of the better quarterbacks I've seen in a long time, and they deserve this trip. Like I said earlier, as much as anybody. In a great season, 10-0 now, and they have a chance to continue at playing at Highmark next week.
I want to get a chance to thank our sponsors one more time for tonight's game. We have Chiefs Barber, AdPro Sports, Logistics Plus, Howard and Hanna, Western New York Immediate Care, RES Physical Medicine and Rehab, Cairo First Wellness Center, Paul Wolf Agency, and Trent's Trophy. For Tim Chifa, I'm Jacob Feig. We thank you guys for signing off onto this broadcast, and we thank you guys for tuning in as we will have more football action, especially tomorrow afternoon, where CSP will be taking on Frankfort-Elkville for the Class D semifinals tomorrow night, and seeing if the other games went final or not. If not, definitely tune to those games as well between Bennett and Orchard Park, as we have other games on as well. But thank you guys for tuning to this broadcast, and enjoy the rest of your weekend.